I was watching a documentary, air crash investigation on a previous flight from 30 years ago that crashed in the Amazon jungle. The pilots put the wrong decimal point into autopilot and they flew south instead of north and ran out of fuel, crashed in the Amazon. And the survivors had to walk for a day and a half to get to the nearest village, which just made me think that I didn't even realise places could be that remote. And the narrator was saying that had they not got to the nearest village, the plane would probably never have been found.
So, I know a lot of us have been following this story about the disappearance of Malaysia flight MH-370 since it went missing back in March 2014. There have been countless theories about its disappearance, ranging from alien abduction to secret government interception, and then of course speculation that the pilots, or even just one of the pilots, was involved somehow for a variety of different reasons. There's even claims that it could have been shot down, just like Malaysian flight MH17, which was definitively shot down in July 2014 over eastern Ukraine, just months after MH370 went missing. I'm sure most of us even remember the theories that MH370 was intercepted and rerouted to a secret military base, Diego Garcia, and that the passengers were taken prisoner, but one managed to send a photo from his iPhone that he had hidden from the captors. So there are certainly a ton of different theories and ideas about what happened to this thing. Some more convincing than others, yeah, but all of them are still interesting to me, at least, nonetheless. Even the official explanation raises some serious doubts that don't add up in a lot of cases. I would actually love to do an entire series on MH370 and break down each different theory or explanation individually into separate videos so that we can all go through each one and kind of put our heads together and try to figure it out. If I get enough viewers interested in this topic, I'll start working on that right away. I would love to do it. For the time being though, I've included links to several articles in the description for anyone who's really interested in this case. I recommend that you definitely check that out. Well, all of that aside, it looks like we have yet another theory to throw into the mix here. Anyone who's been following this event lately knows that it was just recently reported that the plane may have been spotted on Google Earth in the jungles of Cambodia. On top of that, it looks like we now have the brothers, Ian and Jack Wilson, which are the two guys that actually found this thing on Google Earth, planning on traveling to the jungle to see if they can identify it. Even though the Daily Star might be questionable to some, this is the article I'm going to go through because it sums up the story fairly well, and it's got some quotes given to them exclusively by the two brothers. Okay, well let's start looking at that with the headline first here, I guess. MH-370 found in Cambodian jungle? Search launched as Google Maps shows Boeing crash site. The missing MH370 plane could be laying in the mountains of Cambodia, Daily Star Online can exclusively reveal. Now I know this almost sounds too good to be true, and that it could have been any other similarly sized plane that they found. After all, there was wreckage actually recovered from the shores of both Africa and the Indian Ocean. So how could it be in the jungles of Cambodia if it crashed into the ocean? But there's actually some compelling pieces of evidence here, so let's keep going with the article. A stunned truth seeker is to scour the country's jungles after claiming to have spotted the ill-fated plane on Google Maps. Tech expert Ian Wilson has exclusively shown Daily Star Online where he believes a plane is lying in a high-altitude jungle. His earth-shattering discovery is a potentially massive breakthrough in what has become the world's greatest missing plane mystery in the history of aviation. And what makes our exclusive even more startling is the clues stack up to suggest Wilson has found the doomed airliner which vanished 4 years ago. According to measurements of the plane he has found on Google Earth, it is close to the length of MH370's Boeing 777-200. The body is around 70 meters in length, slightly larger than a Boeing 777's official 63.7 meter measurement, but it has a mysterious gap between the tail and the body, and that could be where the tail and body fractured upon impact landing into the dense jungle terrain. So you see what I mean? There actually could be something to this. It's still too early to know for sure, of course, but I'll read a little more of the article so we can talk about this in the comments. Wilson claims it is at ground level because Google Earth offers the option to escape ground view when close to the jet in the app. This option suggests that the plane could be at ground level, which would render it a must-see for investigators. In contrast, other potential sightings of MH-370 spotted on Google Maps have been ruled out by experts because satellite cameras sometimes photograph planes in mid-flight, which do not get erased and end up on their maps. And in another vital piece of the jigsaw, which hugely strengthens Wilson's claims, the Aviation Safety Network told us this sighting does not fit the profile of any crashes in the area. What is more intriguing is the spot where the plane appears to sit on the ground is near an area air traffic controllers inquired about following its disappearance. The stunning discovery is such a chilling coincidence that Wilson is planning to travel there in the hope of unraveling the greatest aviation mystery of all time. Wilson exclusively told Daily Star Online the Boeing 777-200 is 63.7 meters in length, measuring the Google sighting you're looking at around 69 meters, but there looks to be a gap between the tail and the back of the plane. It's just slightly bigger, but there's a gap that would probably account for that. The UK-based video producer, inspired to search the area after questioning an MH370 documentary, added, "I just thought I'd have a wander through. I work in digital video, so I'm on Google Earth all the time. So I was on there, a few hours here, a few hours there. If you added it up, I spent hours searching for places a plane could have gone down." This is something I will definitely be following and putting out updates on as new information comes out, but it's still obviously way too soon to make any conclusive judgments on it. For the time being, I mean. There's a little more in the article here that's relevant about the investigation so far, so I'll go over that really quick. The MH-370 Safety Investigation Report said radar and satellite analysis determined it flew back across the Malaysian peninsula, then towards the Indian Ocean. They then conclude it ran out of fuel and crashed into the water west of Australia. But investigators say they are not ruling out any possibilities, and conceded at the end of a 1,500-page report they do not know what happened to the plane. It has not been found despite extensive searches, although a 2-meter piece of debris investigators said was from MH370 washed up on Reunion, an island off Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. Now, before we sign off here, we have to address the obvious speculation that most people are probably going to have about this. Couldn't it just be a plane in mid-flight that was captured in the Google Earth photo? Well, they briefly mentioned that as well, so let's see what they have to say about it. He added, "I'd love to search for it. I'm confident. It's something I'd like to do." The Bureau of Aviation Investigations archives told us they could not rule out the Google Maps sighting, dating 2018 on Google Earth, being MH370. However, the Aviation Safety Network insists the jet is flying above land and has been caught on Google in flight. Google Earth marks the plane down as an Airbus, but Wilson believes this is a loose estimation. Daily Star Online has approached Google for comment. And there you have it. I'm guessing Google hasn't responded to that request yet, but that could be important, so I'd like to see if they confirm or deny that this image could possibly be a crashed flight. I would think we would see more damage to the trees leading up to the location, but I guess that would depend on a few different factors, and I'm no expert on satellite images, but I know that a lot of you guys out there are. So remember, I'm not giving any opinion on this story. I'm only reporting on it because it is, after all, technically new information on the subject. A lot of people get pretty passionate when they talk about this event, and some even swear that they have the entire thing figured out and they have all the answers. But I prefer to just look at it from a distance, from as many different angles as possible, and to just let the facts kind of slowly mount. Don't forget to check out the links in the description and check back soon. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming out soon, so I will see you guys then. Peace.